Hey guys, it's model making time and welcome to Stamford for IPMS Peterborough's model show, the East of England model show. I think I went to this show or one very close to it probably about 4 or 5 years ago, but this is a new venue for them. It's been really cool going around the show and well, I'm going to take you around to see it too. Before we go and have a look around the show, make sure to subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with the latest and greatest videos, and like the video as well to help others see it. If you're on mobile or you have access to a mobile device, hype the video too. It helps it be boosted in the algorithm, at least that's what I understand. And leave a comment down below. Have you been to the show before? And with that, let's go and have a look around the show. Whilst the show may be located in Stamford in Lincolnshire, it's Peterborough's show. And, well, they start the show. Sadly, I didn't get the lighting quite right due to the window, but hopefully you can appreciate everything that's on offer here, as there is almost anything you could want to see. My favourite thing on the table, of course, is the Caravelle, a beautiful French airliner that was used by a few military operators too. But the work and level of detail is incredible, and it was so lovely to see so many people getting up close and personal with the models and speaking to the creators behind them. It really embodies everything this hobby is all about. What a great start to an amazing show. Models for Heroes are a charity that support veterans in order to do modelling. You can donate to them, you can find their link online and probably use the code that's in the QR code that you just saw. I absolutely adored this sort of, I don't know, almost Pixar-esque with the design of some of the people inside. This beautiful coffee shop that's all motorised, I'm assuming is wood-based. It's gorgeous, and so I wanted to give you a full close-up of it before we go and have a look at what else is on the table, including the merchandise to help support models for heroes, and also the rest of the display, which is more traditional military. I love that this shows the hobby in all its facets, not just military. And well, it's Sakura season, so perfect for some cherry blossoms. So the venue is like a school, and it's like a warren, a rabbit warren. You're just like going through different rooms, turning different corners and finding different things. And this is the first kind of bigger room, and we start with Barnet. And like the bigger room, they have some big models on display here. I did really love the civil aviation representation there with sort of some airliners, and I did think it was 2 tables that for them originally, but actually it was 2 separate clubs, so there's some additional things on it, like Catalina, you'll see with the next club. Harrow starting off with the Luftwaffe UFO-esque aircraft, and well, again, another fantastic display. a lot of June front and centre, and you will have noticed that Catalina that I mentioned a moment ago is also part of this display. I think this is the first stand as well we've seen with bikes on, but it won't be the last. God, I just love how varied this hobby is. It's amazing. Now we are over to Beaver, and I know it may not look like that to people outside of the UK, but I promise you that's how it's said. I actually drove past this as well today. This stand had V-bombers not in 1/72nd scale, which I thought was really cool, as often you see them all in the same scale, but it was really cool to see them all in anti-flash white as well. I also really like that we have some trains, including this travelling crane on our dockside, and we also have a diesel crane that you'll see in a moment. We head over to Cars and Motorcycle SIG, and well, you know I'm not the person for cars and motorcycles, but I know so many people love them, and I still love the creativity that goes into these models, because it's a very different skill to what I have. They did have a lot of TV show representation here from Wallace and Gromit, Wacky Racers, and James Bond, so well, I took pictures of those. Sorry if you wanted more of the cars, but these just caught my eye. Dissimilar air combat training SIG have aircraft in different schemes that I've never seen before. We saw these at Bolton, so maybe go and check out my Bolton video from the start of the year as well, because, well, that T2 Buckeye still is amazing. But I tried to capture some different aircraft this time. A really neat aspect of this show was Peterborough War Games Club, who had this display that showed you all the different scales that are on offer in wargaming, and then after that you can actually take part in some wargaming and have a run of essentially a one-page rules. I think it was 1/72nd scale paratrooper deployment that was meant to be a bit of Operation Market Garden, A Bridge Too Far, that sort of thing. And I didn't want to play it just because I was very tired, if I'm honest. I was a bit, social battery was on a bit low today. So I decided to just film the people who were already playing it and just let them have a look. And it was really cool to see people getting really into it, especially seeing some of the younger generation getting really into wargaming. That was just fantastic to see, and I love this stand, and I hope, I know it's far for you guys, but I hope you get to do this in more shows, because that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Heading over to Hornchurch, and we had a fantastic variety of fugas, which I do love, but I try not to take pictures of loads of them because I've done that when I've seen them before. And we had this amazing display of Alien, which I adored. Their display was perhaps one of the most varied, maybe not the most, but one of the most varied. And I love seeing these sort of wargaming representations of sort of film figures. They also had a substantial military contingent to the display, and some sci-fi too. Honestly, this was just a fantastic display, and it brought a smile to my face. The Japanese aviation SIG with their giant flying boat on an amazing stand, sort of dry docked. I really loved this, and they had a Raiden, and of course that is my favourite of Japanese aviation in World War II. This was a lovely stand. Every time I see this, there's something different on display, and it really brings a light to an area of aviation that is often overlooked. Next up is Mildenhall, and that Thunderbirds diorama is incredible. We get a fantastic array of cars, aircraft, everything here. And well, I tried to take some pictures. In fact, the club did say to me, "We know you like the colourful things," and that is true. And they had some P40s at the end that I thought were amazing. Again, I tried to take pictures of things that I don't think I've captured in previous outings, so hopefully you get to see something different. But of course, you need to see them for yourself, so get out there and get to some shows. Next up is King's Cliff Airfield Museum, and all the planes that you see on display here were either based there or shot down by aircraft here, which I think is a really great way to highlight the local area. Do I really need to say anymore? It's friends of the channel, so 144, everything 144 scale, and I just always love their display. I love that they have so many different sections that are like just different themes, from the A10 section that you can see there to sort of the Dassault Mirage section and the helicopter section, which even has a Cheyenne. I really love this display, and that's evident by the ridiculous amount of pictures and videos I take every time I see them, so enjoy. We then head over to 580 modelers, something very different from 144 who were there before. Interestingly, I don't think I've seen them have things like Gundam and Lilo and Stitch on display, though I could be mistaken, but that really adds variety to what is an incredible level of detail and craftsmanship on their stand already. I really enjoyed this, and unfortunately I didn't quite get everything in frame, so I really do apologise for that. Hopefully I'll get to correct that at the next show. We then head over to, well, it's Neen Valley, but let's be honest, this is just the club where everything moves. I really tried to capture everything here, and it's just insane. Like, so many things were moving. I mean, propellers, of course, but they were going on and off, and it was just so cool to see. I didn't even realise half of them were moving until I got to them, and, well, just enjoy this. It's a work of art. And yeah, I really need to start doing this, even at 1/72 scale. I think it would be so fun. Next door to that was Mowbray Modeler, and again, the level of quality here is just fantastic. I can only wish and dream to become a modeler akin to this. I'll probably never get there, but I still have fun with the hobby. For this, I tried to take pictures of the sort of troops around some of them and the more unusual things, including the soldier at the back. There's so much on offer here. It's just such a varied stand. Perhaps the best helicopter diorama maybe I've ever seen was the Chinook on Rutland stand. Now, before we get to that, there are a lot of trainers here, including some Fuga Magisters, and of course we'll get some pictures of that. This venue, it goes from like really wide and open to really cramped really quickly, so apologies if I'm moving around maybe a bit more than usual, but I'm just trying to make sure I capture as much as I can, even though unfortunately I do seem to cut off the nose of a few aircraft. But you'll also get to see the Chinook up close and personal, because I did separate videoing for that you'll see in a moment, because believe me, it's amazing. We then head over to Leicester Modelers, and again, incredible stuff here. This T28, by the way, the only reason I know that is it features in one of the Girls and Panzer films. But yeah, I think the Avatar model and the Alien models are things that I don't know if I've ever seen anything like them before. I thought I took a picture of the Alien model as well, and unfortunately I didn't, and I cut off its head multiple times here, so that's probably your only opportunity to see it there. I did take a picture of the Avatar figure because I just thought it was fantastic, and they had a variety of F4 Phantoms in various services, including a couple in really beautiful Japanese liveries. Heading over to Nottingham and District, and they have a giant B24 and B17, and yeah, I can't get good pictures of this because this was like in a classroom. It was quite cramped, so I do apologise. I've got the best pictures I can of it, but hopefully you can see it quite well in the video. A lot more wargaming at Northants BMSS, and well, along with having this British Rifle Battalion, they do also have some Blood Bowl on display here as well, and it's not orcs for once, which is quite often what I see with Blood Bowl on display, so I'm glad we got to see something different. This was, again, just a stand that brought a smile to my face. I really want to get back into wargaming, and this is really encouraging me to do so. Whether it's bolt action or I do 1/72 scale, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's really encouraging me. Oh gosh, my bank balance will not thank me. And right from the offset here, you can see Gunpla, Sci-fi, everything here at Coventry and Warwickshire. That ship in the middle as well does go on and have lights and sounds, and we've seen it in previous shows. I think Bolton, the first one I went to, is probably where you can see it in full, so go and check out that video after you've seen this one. Again, I was trying not to get in the way of people, and it was quite a small room, so I did try and get everything I could. Some things might have got cut off with the stabilisation, but I tried to do the best I could. And again, take pictures of things I've not seen before, because the work here is so good, but I want to make sure I highlight different things at each show. You can of course see them at previous shows I've been to, so go check out my other videos. Now I do apologise, this is a really cramped dial. There was a vendor right behind me and I didn't want to get in the way of people, so this is Spaceflight SIG. Tried to get everything I could, and getting pictures of everything was not ideal here. So I took pictures of things I knew I could get in frame, but the work is still amazing. Space is not something that I'm super passionate about even, but I know there's so many people who are getting back into it with the new Airfix space range, so I'm so excited to see more of it. Right, we have West Suffolk, who seem to have a little tiger corner here with the F-18, the F-104, the SU-22. The SU-22 is actually one I was going to do one a long time ago, and I started making it. It was when I first ever tried airbrushing. Maybe I should go back to doing it. I really love this stand, and Mr. Modeler particularly like the F-104. Maybe because he's just got the F-104 in War Thunder and is now a bit obsessed with it. Oh, and this World War I diorama here, I did get some pictures of it. It's fantastic. They said this was a group project, and it's just amazing. And now is West Norfolk, and the Swiss, I think it's a vampire, caught my eye because it's just so bright and colourful, and the Irish Spitfire is also just really unusual, though I think that's a new Airfix release because I think they've released it with the Irish. We do have a Canberra here, which I'm assuming we're going to see loads of this year once Airfix released their new 1/72 scale one that got announced this year. Go check out my review of Airfix's range launch this year because, well, I loved it. I did try and capture a lot of different things here, including perhaps the world's smallest painted Sunderland. This stand had children's stuff right at the front, which I always think is great because we need to have more young people getting into this hobby, and if you capture them whilst they're young, they will be lifelong modelers, as I think every single person at this show probably was. So yeah, it's really good to see it, and I did just take a little separate video of all the younger people's work because I think it's important to show that yeah, everyone at any age, any skill level can do this. And to be honest, some of their work is better than mine, which makes me feel a bit embarrassed. Letchworth Scale Model Club had some really unique dioramas, and they also had these white metal, I don't know what they're called, like 2.5D, but I really loved them. And I remember the first time I ever saw them was when I went to Stoke-on-Trent Model Clubs when they were at the Stamford race ground, and I loved it. And I did try and get some different pictures from different perspectives of this diorama, because I think it helps, you know, to realise it when you see it from different perspectives. But what an incredible centerpiece to an already amazing display. The Great Wall SIG have perhaps some of the most incredible work on any stand ever, and that's not to try and, you know, tar anyone else with not being good enough. It's just the level of workmanship here is world class, and some of the subjects they built are just so niche, and I imagine have mostly scratch building. I could never comprehend being able to make something not only so detailed, but also it not being necessarily a kit. It's amazing. I wish I could be this talented. Or even just have a small smidgen of that talent. South Atlantic SIG were up next with their small but meaningful display. I did just take a couple pictures of aircraft that really pleased me on this stand. They always seem to do something different with a slightly different variation on their SIG, and that was really cool to see. We then go to Brampton, and I will say I couldn't quite get a picture of all the meteors because, again, I try not to be too intrusive when I do this. I try and work around everyone else, and there were people having a conversation about modelling, which is fantastic. So you might not get to see all the meteors, but then that's the price you pay for not being at the show. So many meteors, so little time. Macross to Porco Rosso. The stand has it all. And I've only just started watching some Macross, and it's not something I'll probably binge. It's not like my favourite anime, but I have some models of Macross to build because I just think they look awesome. And I also adore Porco Rosso. It's one of my favourite animated films, and just seeing all of it here, it really brought some warmth to my heart on this rainy day. Well, it wasn't actually raining at the time of the show, but it did a bit later. The truck SIG is up next, and I tried to take some pictures of details here, and they had like their centerpiece, which was like a truck dumping some coal. So I just tried to get some different pictures to what I might have done previously. I really love this stand. It's, again, something I'm not familiar with and I know very little about, but I really appreciate the workmanship that goes into the models. Yes, Whiz Beach. I always say I don't know how to say it, and I should probably just Google it at some point. This was an amazing stand, and I'm in awe of all the colour and technical detail on this stand. I could have taken pictures of pretty much everything here, so I tried to just do a variety of different things. But yeah, hopefully you get to capture it all just through the video here. A strong Finnish contingent from Finland and Spalding, including a Blenheim, and I built one of those, although mine is quite old now and not very good in comparison. Mine had skis though, which I did find quite fun. They also had some Warhammer here. Interestingly, we didn't have that much at this show compared to other shows I've been to, but they did have Sisters of Battle, which, I mean, not to be a stereotypical woman, was who I got into when I first started Warhammer 2, but mine was an all-metal army back in the day. Now we have Norfolk Scale Model Group, who just had so many unusual things, like the Peugeot having its wheel changed at the back, the greenhouse, I know I've seen a few of them before, but they just look lush, and the NHS Hawk, which I feel has faded into obscurity a bit, despite the fact I think it's one of the most lovely kits to see, and is so important in a remembrance of what we were all going through back then. The tank transporter SIG is what it says on the tin, so I just tried to take pictures of things maybe I didn't see at Telford, but I also tried to focus on the people that are shown in the dioramas too. I think it's really cool that they're not just laid on the table, they are like full dioramas within themselves. Milton Keynes Scale Model Club, and I apologise, it's a bit bumpy footage. Again, it was just walking around people, and I tried to do some post-stabilisation, but it looked really not great. So I do apologise, it's a bit bumpy. I did actually speak to them about their show, and I actually went to one quite a while ago. I went to Modelcraft Milton Keynes in 2022, back when it was in sort of adjacent to, I think it was the stadium, and it had like the main ground floor and then like the side levels, kind of in a way like Bolton's, and I loved it. But that show has kind of died due to the venue wanting to increase the price so substantially, they said, which is such a shame because it was one of the largest, if not the largest, model show in the country on a single day. And I long for the day where it returns and brings such an impressive presence back to Milton Keynes, because I'd love to revisit it to see the show. That's not to say anything about the models on here though, and whilst I've been talking about their shows, you've been watching all the moving parts on the ships and planes, which I just can't understand how you do that. It's incredible and I love it. Movement always just brings so much life to these models, even though it might be really small details, and just having the little turrets move every now and again is just so cool. The last in the big hall, because that's where we currently are, in like the main sports hall, is Ipswich Scale Model Club. And we're going to ignore Pennywise because that gives me nightmares. But again, I try to focus on, I guess, like just the people within the models, not just the models themselves. An impressive array of work here. We're now in our final room, and you can see me filming there in the background. But this is New City Scale Model Club. I, of course, love the Dalek diorama there from the film. I actually rewatched them the other day, and they are so iconic. And we have a dogfight duo as well of the Messerschmitt ME262 and the P51. We had an array of ships here as well, including a Canadian aircraft carrier, so I did get a close-up of that. What unusual subjects. Really, really cool to see. We then had Rustington, which was down as IC modelling there. I think they were on TikTok mainly, it said. But yeah, again, this was like a lot of dioramas where I just took pictures of the people, because that's what really stuck out to me, especially that kid just hanging off the barrel of a tank. It's so cool. Like everything on there just looks so real. Next up is Wellingborough, and we spoke to them about the fact they have a Nimrod, because I may have picked one up at the show. Oh no, I'm going to have to build one. I actually have one in stash already, but I was so concerned about messing it up that I got another one as a backup. And it was a really good price for models for sale, but we'll talk about vendors later. I also love seeing the Ornithopter on the same table as the Nimrod. Oh my gosh, it really makes you appreciate the scale of them. Something I know nothing about is Peterborough Area Model Boat Club, and if there was ever an argument for Mr. Modeler to agree to me to have a pond in our front garden or in our garden, it's this. Because, yeah, they basically talked about how on some of their boats are just regular plastic models that they fully made watertight and then put the electronics into, and you'll obviously see when it changes to that sort of scaling. And a lot of these are like 1/72 scale boats, which I just think is incredible. And they were lucky enough to just sort of explain it to me as well.
That's the radio control system, which is out of a flying model, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And we use 2 channels, one to control the rudder. It's just a single tube prop and rudder. The full-size model has twin motors. This has a single motor and it's powered by a 1-cell lithium polymer battery, a LiPo battery. And so all the internals are left off to keep the weight down.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they do sell well, only on a small boat.
And of course I got some pictures of the sort of figures on the boats as well. Well, our last thing at the show is the M4 Sherman SIG and IPMS Clacton-on-Sea. IPMS Sherman SIG on the left, of course, and then Clacton-on-Sea on the right, divided by their blue and green colours respectively. Apparently the M4 Sherman SIG is quite new, but it didn't lack in character and sort of what-if models. I really loved this stand. I thought it was great. There were so many different ideas and variants on the M4 Sherman, and I'm not a tank girl, but I still really enjoyed it. Mr. Muller definitely did as well. In terms of merchants, we had models for sale, who I did buy that Nimrod from, and we also had a new person I've not seen before, Alan Sidney, who I bought a modern airfield set from Airfix that I'll do an unboxing of soon. That was really cool to see, and really great prices from Alan Sidney as well. I did just try and take some general footage as well, so you can see everything on offer. This was just one of many rooms that they had, and each of them had some vendors in, or at least in the big rooms. So there was a lot to see here, a lot to buy here, a lot for your wallet. But I will say parking was not great here, at least when we arrived. Pretty much when it opened, there was nowhere that you could actually park on the school, and then you just had to go find somewhere to park, which we didn't realise at the time. And it was fine, like we literally were parked like a minute's walk away. But if I had like one bit of feedback for the future, it's just make it really clear where you need to park for the next show, because that really helps just in terms of people getting their flow of the day, and also for people who might have additional needs or mobility needs. Overall though, I thought this was a fantastic show. They did do a lot of signage around to try and show you where things are, I still managed to nearly miss the big hall because I missed one of the signs because I sort of just followed it round to the canteen because that's where someone suggested I go. And I might have missed this whole hall. There's a lot to see here. Just make sure you're exploring everything you can. Anything you can't is taped off. And they also had a food truck out back. So I did get myself a burger, 2 burgers actually for myself, Mr. Modeler, chips, coffee and a canned drink. I think that's £16. Not the worst, not the best, but it was really tasty and warmed us up on the day, which was lovely. And yeah, overall a really good show and one I'll hopefully visit again in the future. Well, thank you so much for joining me as we went around the East of England model show. I've really enjoyed being here and hopefully I'll be here again next year. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get up to date with the latest and greatest videos and my live streams, and like the video as well. If you're on mobile, hype the video to help it be boosted in the algorithm, and leave a comment down below. What was your favourite model that you saw today? And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye! Thank you so much to my channel members. A shout out goes to my advanced kit level members, including Star Trek props and models, Taggers365, Bobby D, Daffy Duck, Explosive Water, Bob and Genevieve Albridge, David Barber, Jeff's Dioramas, and Crazy Locha. Of course, Crazy Locha and Explosive Water being the longest advanced kit level members of this channel. And all my starter kit level members too, I appreciate you too. You help keep this channel going, and thank you all for supporting me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, make sure to subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with my latest and greatest videos. And well, there's another video here recommended just for you. I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye!